Right. So I just woke up and I received news that ARB has been murdered. So let's check it out. These are the Korean patch notes. So the Korean patch notes talk a little bit about marks and stuff like that. I saw this really quick. I didn't read anything, so this is also new for me. So let's see. Come just preventing stacking at the same time of shoots. Oh, we cannot shoot stack anymore? Wow. Okay, so shoot stack is not possible anymore? That's crazy. I wonder if that means. I mean, that's how it works. That means you cannot have two shoots. The two ones are less effective now. Two orbs, three orbs, four orbs. Distortion is not more stacked. We cannot. Absolute Dagger is not more stacked. Oh my god, that's big. That's a big, big nerf. Big, big nerf. Derp just got a mega nerf from that. Blood one damage, blah blah blah. It's whatever. Genobot. It was doing friendly damage. That's funny. Stuff of God. Another buff for side effect. I have no clue what that is. Longsword. No trigger using. I'm not entirely sure what that is. The translations are not proper, so it's a bit harsh, to be honest. Alright, I'm gonna ignore the longsword because I don't care too much. I think that's the SNS actually. Crossbow. Okay, so the mark now has a limit for 50,000% of the base damage. I wonder what it was reaching before. If 50,000 got the limit maxed, I wonder how much this will affect the mark. Because 50,000 is a lot, but you'll never know. Longbow. Expression. And whatever. Cane, I'm gonna assume it's the staff. Fireball mastery. So the fireball got a buff on its damage. Okay, bit dangerous. It's about a 20% buff, looks like. I mean, 20% extra damage on fireball is quite a bit. Ice spear got added some damage, also around 20%. Ice Spear Mastery, Ice Assault. I'm gonna assume that's the Ice Bombardment. That's around 10%, 15% increase. Okay. Lightning. Oh god, that one I'm not a big fan of adding damage, but okay. So 100% more base. That's quite a bit. That's like what? 10%? Less than 10% increase on damage, but still increase on damage. Horsepower sphere. wait. Okay, that's the sphere changes. Okay. Starburst, which I'm gonna assume it's supernova. PvP damage now is adjusted as follows. Okay, so they kept the PvE damage, but they nerfed the PvP. Oh god. Okay, so just to start here, they cut the damage in half. Oh my god, they cut the damage in half, bro. Wait, that's not Supernova, that's Stellar Dash, right? That's 150, 580, I think it's Stellar Dash. Satellite, okay. Starburst, okay, it's not, but Satellite. Okay, so the satellite laser that you shoot, I'm assuming this is it. It went from 340 to 85. Holy fuck! It went from like 340 to 85. That's 1/4 of the damage that it did before. So here it went from 580 to 145, which is 280. Oh my god, it's like 1/4. That's a 75% nerf on this. That's insane. What? So they cut in half the Stellar Dash damage, and they cut in 75% the. Okay, I knew it would get a damage nerf. I expect that. But I expect the gut to be on the satellite skill, not on the damage. Like I said, if the gut was on the damage skill, Orb was gonna get obliterated and Lunarch would struggle. But if the gut was on satellite, I think that would be good for the class. So the gut was on both. So we lost stacking shields, So that means stacking orbs is dead. We lost stacking satellites to do extra damage. That means the burst on solo is mostly dead, and the burst on group is still gonna be okay, but like nothing could compare to what it was before. I need to do the calculations on my table, but I'm gonna assume with this change we lost a lot of damage. This satellite change, the normal change is already pretty big. That means we lost half of our damage. If I understood this correctly, okay, I need to check because I don't know where everything is applying here. If it's from the orbs, if this is just from the players. I need to check things first. I think this is from the orbs. This is like from the player and orbs. And I think this is from the party satellite. If it's from the party satellite, it is a huge nerf and expected. But that's a lot of your damage gone. That's like 75% of your damage gone. And I heard Supernova got nerfed as well. The effect is removed. What do you mean the effect is removed? Every 0.5 does the movement speed by 80. What do you mean the effect is removed? What? What do you mean the effect is removed? What does that mean? Oh my god, we're gonna have to wait for Korea to update to see what's up and people to show the changes. Okay, so new content. Shushu, a real island added. Okay, new content, that's cool. Oh, okay. Now the whale spawns some extra islands. And you can get some new items for furniture. I'm assuming looks like it's from that. Yeah. Just for furniture from the whale, I guess. Rank mode here. Rank mode will give some rewards, looks like. Is this related to rank mode? I hope not. Like, that's just furniture. I don't care about furniture. Oh, I saw this. We're getting pings, bro. That's actually huge. Pings are really cool. I love the addition of pings to the game. Now just remove field system. But yeah, that's cool. I like pings, chat. Okay. Material transformation got more options. That's actually amazing. Cooking. If they're in the warehouse. Okay, you can use ingredients from your chest. I thought you could do that already. That's fine. Combat power. In character, you can see the current maximum by category. Okay. Okay, homes. I mean, this is just PvE stuff, right? Oh, this is important. This is important. This is legendary. Passing on unique equipment. Unique tier armor and jewelry items will be improved but to be transferred across gear slots. So you can transfer like armor to gloves, gloves to cloak, things like that. Yeah. Unique linking. You can link unique tier equipment. So we can link legendaries. Same parts can be linked. Different parts cannot be linked. I wonder if that means any weapon to any weapon, any armor to any armor, or if it's only armor can only link armor, cloak can only link cloak. If that's the case, that still is not ideal, but that's a big improvement. That means if you have a legendary chest for PvP and you want to make a legendary chest for PvE, now you can make that and you can link both. It should be it's better than before, for sure. That's an improvement, but I don't think it's the way that we want. For example, to link a cloak with gloves or something like that. I don't think that's gonna work like that. But you do have the transfer now available at least. It's much better than before. It's still not 100%, but like 95% of improvement for sure. Skill core, imprint, cost mitigation, reduce the cost of core imprint, blah 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 blah. Okay, that's good. After the update, you will already good chance for 1 million solents. Okay, this is amazing because I already spent so many Chaos Prisms and so many actually Lucent Bind Scrolls to imprint and remove and imprint again. And it was getting way too expensive to keep doing that. So I'm just glad they added this. It's way more friendly for new players, for old players, for like you actually testing, changing things. Big change, big W. This is a huge progress on the legendaries/heroics, like 95% better. I just wish you could link all types of armors and all types of accessories to each other, because this way you can make like, oh, I want to play with armor, but I now with this new tier I need to use the gloves or the cloak for my build, so I need to link that. I wish you could link that, you know, but it's fine. It's like better than before, 1000%. Reward per Berserk Archboss. Berserk Archboss will increase as follow. Okay, Awakening Archbosses will increase the rewards that you get from the Ascended Fragments from 4 to 8. That's actually pretty big, I think, if I understood correctly here. We're gonna get double the frags. That's actually sick. And for the piece, we're also getting more fragments. Okay, that's pretty big. That's pretty nice. Actually, mega nice change. Yeah, really nice change. So we are gonna get more fragments from playing the game naturally now. We get basically double, so that's gonna cut the time from like 4 months of average to 2. That's mega huge, actually. Mega good change. Proof harvesting rewards. This is kind of whatever, to be honest. Whatever. It's just PvE stuff. Okay, production. Okay, now you can evolve the skill cores. That's fine. Battlefield. More promotions, more skins. Alright, that's about it. So the big changes on this patch was a little nerf on the crossbow for the mark, for PvE. A big nerf on the orb for the shields. You cannot stack shields anymore. That's a huge nerf for the orb and the one. So the seekers are gonna get more value. Seeker value just went up. So now the orb is probably on par with the seeker, if not worse than the seeker. The nerfs on the staff got buffs, so I'm sure all the liberators, the spellblades are mega happy with that. That's some pretty decent buffs. The orbs got gutted. Like, the supernova effect is removed, just scaring me because I know what that means. And the stellar dash, which was your biggest damage, got gutted. Like, half of the damage got removed and 75% of your damage got removed. If we put that on raw values, just throw that on the tab, that's at least 50% damage loss, because we lost damage on both, right? And even more here, because we lost 75% damage here. So that's 125% damage total loss here. So that's probably what, from our total damage that we already had, we had 100%, now we probably have like 40% of the damage that we had, so we lost 60% damage, which sounds like an insane amount, and it is. But with the state that the class was, it was doing way too much damage, so we need to see how much. I think now it's gonna become more of a normal combo executing class. A lot of people are gonna say it's dead. I personally wanna see before. I think if you're playing Orb by yourself, this change gutted it. If you're playing like solo Lunarch Battlegrounds, solo player, I need to see the true changes in like putting the numbers in and see what this supernova change is, because this effect removes is scary. But as a solo player, you definitely lost a lot of value. You don't care about the shield changes as a solo player, evasion, whatever. But if you're playing this on a static and you just play orb damage, you're pretty sad. You don't have the shoot stacking, so that means Glass Cannon is gonna struggle. Oh my god, Glass Cannon might be dead. Okay, well, regardless, but Glass Cannon would struggle. And your way out with the orb was you had so much damage, right? Even post nerf, you lost 25% to 30% of your damage. It's kind of crazy. If you compare this to the first change, you probably lost like 80% of your damage. like with the original instance of the orb. But yeah, as solo player, you lost half of your damage. That's the thing here. Uh, so you're definitely I think you're gonna start struggling to kill people in battlegrounds. I'm gonna test it, of course, on my main account later when it release. But I feel like this is way too much for the solo player. That's why they said they should get the satellite and the shoot orb stacking, which they did, but they should not touch the normal solo player damage, and they did that. So I think that's way too much. I think as a solo armed Lunarch, you're gonna struggle. As a group, your damage got gutted, but it still is a lot of damage. I'm gonna calculate. But if it was 550,000 damage potential, now it should be like 200 damage thousand potential. But of course, you have to hit everything and like crit and have everything to have like 150 to 200,000 potential damage. So I think it's still gonna be playable, but compared to other classes, it might not be always the first option compared to before. Like before, there was no discussion, it was just too much damage. Now it still does damage if you take into consideration all the numbers, but not as much as before. Now you have to actually, yeah, it's not as easy as before, but if it's still playable, it's a big question. I still think it's gonna do damage because it's just so much damage. But I think this nerf was huge. Oh my god. I think it is definitely has a possibility of just killing the class. But I think the biggest nerf, funny enough, even though they nerfed the damage by 70 to 80%, is the shield stack change. This is gonna move the meta. The meta is gonna... This patch is gonna change the meta entirely. You're not gonna see 2-3 orbs again in parties. You're not gonna see like 2 to 3 orbs in like a 6 orb party and 3 healers in the same party spamming shields non-stop. You're not gonna see 100k shields anymore. You're gonna see like 30 to 40k shields, and they are not gonna stack. So it's gonna probably require coordination. I don't know if that's gonna change how orbs and party setups are played. I imagine we're gonna have 1 orb, 1 seeker now. Or 2 orbs that know how to coordinate really well the shoot stacking, like swapping for like statics. But this is pretty big. It's a good thing for the game. It's a good thing for the game. But if you're playing orb, you're probably sad. I'm gonna do more tests, more calculations. I'm gonna wait for the Korean patch to check news of what's up on the supernova, what's up on the damage. But from this, just reading, you can be sure like solo classing as the Orb Dagger Lunarch. Big nerf, 50%, you're gonna struggle. As party play, big nerf, 70 to 65 to 70% damage nerf. You're gonna notice a big damage drop, big damage drop. But with the shield stacking also not working anymore, I don't think the class is gonna be unviable. Crazy enough. I still think the satellite with the Stellar Dash is a lot of potential damage, even though you lost 2/3 of it. 1/3, which was 550,000, now it's like 150 to 200,000. It's still a lot of damage. And you got a reminder that people are not gonna have shield stack now. So even though you lost damage, people lost shields, which compensate for your damage loss. But the thing that it does is, since now there's less shields, even though you do less damage, other classes still do the same damage or more, like if you're using staff, you got buffs. So it put all the classes on a more similar ground. Since shields got nerfed, all effective HP got nerfed. That means all the other classes, they are like melees, ranged, whatever it is, GSs, expos are gonna be spooky. Oh my god, Scorpions need a nerf. But regardless, all the classes now are more viable. And I think the Orb is in a position that can be played, but it's not like that insane weapon anymore. So we're gonna have to wait to see if that's way too many nerfs or if that's just enough. Personally, I think it's a fair and overall just enough nerf. I think it's good for the game. They should remove. I think the damage balance is good. I just wish they didn't touch the solo orb damage because I thought that was okay already. And this nerf might be way too much for the solo player. I think the static player is still gonna be doing okay damage for the amount of shoots that are gonna be on the game after the patch. That's just my early opinions. That's about it. Thank you for watching. See ya.